Thanks everyone for joining us here today. Today we're going to go over the PMO framework for the Learning Experience program here at Western University. We'll get started just going over the PMO charter. Then we'll talk about the benefits the PMO will have on the program. Then we'll also talk about how to optimize the implementation of the PMO in ways that we can keep the success going. So to start with the PMO charter overview, first we'll talk about the purpose of the PMO, which is to increase productivity and efficiency amongst the learning experience program specifically. It will do that by providing support to projects as well as providing support to the governance board. So both on the top and bottom of the program. Customers and stakeholders, like I said, from the top to the bottom, we'll have the governance board, then we'll have project teams and project managers, and then all the other stakeholders that will be involved, faculty and staff, students, board of directors, parents, and alumni. All the people that will be touching this program as a whole are stakeholders to the PMO. Services and offerings. The PMO will provide tools and techniques for project managers to use on the project specifically. They'll provide coordination and administrative duties for the governance board, provide data analysis and services for the program. In this way, the PMO will most closely resemble a project or program-specific PMO as defined by the PMI in their Pulse of Professions article on PMO frameworks. The PMO success profile, what a successful PMO looks like to us, which is improvement to project management performance, overall success of the program through alignment of goals, and reduction of efforts required by the governance board. The PMO structure will look something closely like this, with the governance board being on top, the program manager being below that, and then project manager and project teams below the program manager. Now, the PMO will have touch points directly with the governance board, the program manager, and the project managers, and be helping each one of them in specific ways. That way, they have a good grasp on what's going on from the top to the bottom, as well as it will provide benefits to all of them. So that way, the PMO should not be seen as an enemy to any of them, more as an advisor. And then off of the projects come departments, faculty and staff, and students. For the PMO benefits, first for governance, the PMO will act as an enabler for the governance board. They will be able to obtain and conduct the proper information and analysis the governance board needs. In this way, the governance board will be able to make strategic decisions based on solid data, especially with a governance board that, with a makeup of members that are not used to being on a governance board per se. They're going to need a little bit of help, especially with a lot of this data-driven decision-making that we're going to be making. The PMO is there to assist with all of that and with all the coordination, because most of the governance board does not have the time to be able to put that effort in there, nor do they necessarily have the know-how to be able to do that. Then after the governance, another major benefit is strategic direction. The PMO will be able to help frame the discussion around the end goals of the program. Oftentimes, goals get lost along the way from program to project work. From members of the governance board to the frontline workers, the business goals must give a sense of purpose to the workplace, to the work that's going on. In the PMI Thought Leadership Series report, they found that the largest reason respondents gave for initiatives failing in the past 12 months were a lack of clarity defined and or achievable milestones and objective measures. That was 28% of respondents. What that tells us is we need to be sure we tie all activities back to our program strategies and goals. And then finally, for a PMO benefit is project manager help. In an organization with limited amounts of project management maturity, being able to provide project managers with tools, methods, and most importantly, support when needed will increase success rate and efficiency of each project in the program, therefore collectively increasing the effectiveness of our program. So here are some keys to PMO implementation for the Learning Experience PMO. First off, we need to establish simple standards. It's important to keep processes simple. Most project managers are new to the process, and each project manager comes from a different department that may have their own way of doing things. The best way we can to bring everybody together is to keep it simple. The KISS standpoint of keep it simple, stupid. After that, consistent communication is also important. We need to push consistency. It's best way to establish a standard for communication. Communication is critical to progress of the maturity level of a project management. After that, the implementation of ADKAR plan. Everyone in the organization needs to understand why the program is taking place, and to account for the needs of those working on the projects. It's not just good enough to get the work done. The people on the front lines need to understand why they're doing what they're doing. That's the best way that we can get innovation and positive feedback from it, is that they understand why the people above them want them to do what they're doing. So the next benefit, the PMO needs to be a teacher, not an enforcer. The PMO must establish itself as a mentor to project managers. That way, if the project manager does something and after the fact wonders, was there a reason I was supposed to do that? Was there a better way I should have done that? Instead of being scared of retribution or being punished for choosing something that might have been wrong, they need to feel open to approach the PMO so that the PMO can do its job in training and mentoring project managers. For scalability, standards developed must be general enough that they can be used throughout this program and for future programs. It sort of goes along with what we talked about for establishing simple standards. The best way that we can create a scalable program is by keeping it simple. That way we can add to it as maturity level the Western University grows over time. And then establish quality. While this PMO is program specific at the moment, it will have close contact with extremely important university stakeholders. University president, certain deans. These are people that even after this program is finished, if they buy into the use of PMOs in general, that's going to have lasting effects down the road to possibly creating more of an environment of a large-scale PMO that goes across all projects at the university. And that's all we have for today. These are the references that I used. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Thank you very much.